My next guest, yes, that's for our band. Thank you, boss. My next guest I like to count as a good friend. I enjoy everything that Tony Randall does. He's a most accomplished actor, and as you know, he is one of the stars, along with Jack Klugman, in the Odd Couple series. And believe it or not, what do you think they have done? They have an album out called The Odd Couple Sings, which you welcome, please, Tony Randall. What did you do there? You did a little stage business, as they say.
You see, ever since I was a little boy, I was also in love with my toes. And my mother thought I was loony, you know, because she would see me, I would sit at home. I couldn't stop myself. I would bite my toenails all the time. And today, when I do the same thing, people think I'm loony.
Little bit.
I sit around the house and I bite.
Not many people can do that.
I know it. I can put my toes in my mouth.
Is there a big call for that?
Yes.
What?
It's very well coordinated.
What? You're very well coordinated. What can you tell from Mr. Randall, just at the brief flash you got of his foot there?
I think
I had his sock on, but it's a very thin stocking, and I
It's
thought,
very unusual for a
it has
girl.
nice ankles.
Yes.
nice ankles.
Fine.
Yes. Very thin. I get my hand all the way around.
And also, he likes women.
Yes.
Very
You
much.
like
He always
women.
talks about them.
Yes. And I'm as strong as a bull.
Bull.
It's very unusual. Bull is right. It's very unusual to find a girl with a foot fetish. And when you find one, hold on. But,
Usually, I think it was in Genève's The Balcony, where men usually have that
very
kind of
common
a...
thing in men.
Yes.
Pushkin, the great,
I thought you were talking about Saul Pushkin, who
No.
was on the 3rd Avenue here.
Alexander Pushkin.
Alexander Pushkin, the great poet.
The greatest of all Russian poets.
Of course.
In his day, of course, they didn't know about such things, so no one thought it was interesting. But in all his works, there's a constant reference to women's feet. In fact, in one of his, it's in Yevgeny Onegin, he writes that there's not a pair of breasts in Russia the equal of one beautiful foot. Yeah. He was insane about women's feet. But
Well,
to
as you
find
know,
a woman insane about men's feet, that's what I'm saying.
In the Orient, in many Asiatic countries, the foot is considered by far the most erotic appendage on the body.
I know.
That is true.
Sure.
We're a breast-oriented country over here, which they think is very, very strange and very weird because they look at it as part of the necessary female anatomy, and they don't put a sexual connotation on it. Am I boring you with all this?
Yes.
You always come on with so much information. I thought I would, impart a little of this, but that is true. So, now the time. What else? Tell us about the album, if you want to. Are you selling a lot of these? Are you making a buck?
They're not out yet.
Well, then obviously it's not really going great guns yet.
No, but
And pictures actually from the
from the actual show itself.
You guys are grabbing everything you can, aren't you? Well,
How did you figure that out? Well, Mr. Klugman and I went to London, and I can't say a word about your smoking. I can't say a word about it.
well, you gave me a very severe and
know.
stern lecture several months ago.
I always do, and
I'm putting it out because I know
but
how it bothers
there's no
you.
point in it, because I was just talking to U.B. Blake backstage, and he's 90 years old and has smoked since he was 6, and it cuts all the arguments out from under me. In any case,
You notice I did extinguish it.
Yes.
Even though this is the smoking section. See, I declared this like the airlines do.
No.
This is
Wherever I am is
the
not the
non-smoking
smoking
section.
So we made that album in London, and we do an opera on it, and it's very funny. And I think it's awfully kind of you to bring the subject up and allow me to go on like this about it.
Well, you wouldn't come on the show if we didn't plug
Right,
this thing.
right.
Let's face it, that's what you're here to hustle the album.
It'll be out very soon.
The Odd Couple opera,
Yeah.
you're on here.
Yes, very funny, very funny. The
Well,
opera.
well,
We did it on a show once, and go ahead, read some more.
I've,
It's nice.
When banana skins are falling, I'll come sliding back to
Yes,
you.
yes.
Another.
It's a song with appeal.
Well, you kind of like that one, don't you? I have heard you sing before. I have not heard Mr. Since you address him as Mr. Klugman, I
Yes,
also will.
I call him Jack. I call him Jack.
Do you really?
Yeah.
How is Mr. Klugman's voice?
It was once described as a snore. It's a musical snore. Very good. He sings
Really?
very well. Oh, yes,
I
he
didn't
has a
know that.
nice singing voice. Yeah.
Did you ever sing on a Broadway show at all?
Several.
That's right. I should know
I did a
that.
show called Oh Captain once.
Right.
Yeah.
I did not know. When does this? Well, you have a lot of little tricks that you do.
Yes.
I mean, those are little, devices. I know. I'm on to you, Randall. After
you are.
all these years, you've got those little.
I also have severe sinus trouble.
Do you really? Have you tried blowing your nose? That used. Remember, there's an old joke.
Yeah, I
goes
do
back
that
with a
instead,
fellow.
yes.
What else is happening?
Well, let's see, what else is happening?
In your career, I
Yes.
only see you on the show. We never see each other
I know.
socially. That is true.
Yes. That's absolutely true.
We don't. I admire you. I count you as a friend, and yet I've never been out with you.
Well, you never call me?
When I say I've never been with your wife or my wife, we've never had dinner together, or we've never been to your house.
All right.
And you've never been to our.
You want to come over for dinner?
No, I'm not. Well,
Yes, you do.
no, I'm not begging or
Yes, you
fishing for an invitation. People assume because we sit here and have this dialogue that we're rather close, And,
I think we're rather alike. In case, if you insist on coming for dinner, I will invite you on the condition that you invite me to your house sometime. You've never invited me either.
well, let's forget the whole thing. If it's got to be that way, I don't want to come out to dinner. Who do you hang around with? I mean, I don't want you to.
My best friend, you mean?
Best friend. I don't mean you to. Don't want you to.
Yeah.
Don't want you to name drop or anything, but.
Milton Faber.
Milton Faber.
Yes.
What does Milton do?
Milton owns us 2 or 3 drugstores in Chicago.
So you do have, a lot of people in the entertainment business don't have close friends out of the business, and I think that's important.
I'm not the friendliest fellow in the world, to tell the truth. I like people. If they're around, I always enjoy them. But if they're not, I couldn't care less.
In other words, you could live on this planet alone and really not care.
No, I couldn't live alone. This will get a little boring. I'm perfectly satisfied being with my wife. As long as I have my wife with me, I don't seem to need friends.
Well, I think that's very sweet.
It's true.
That's very sweet.
But I don't spend as much time with.
Excuse me. I'm really very conscious of it when you were here, and it drifts well because we're getting a nor'easter in here tonight.
I never spend as much time with anyone as I do with Jack Klugman. I'm with him 10, 11, 12 hours a day.
But you're good friends, and...
Yes, but never off camera. Never.
That's it. No, that's true. Many teams who work together, Laurel and Hardy, for example, never saw each other hardly at all socially. Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
If we're invited
not
to
close
the same
social.
party...
I wasn't finished, Tony.
I'm sorry.
Bud Abbott and Lou Costello, for example, never
What
saw
about
each
Wheeler
other.
and Woolsey? Go ahead, name
Wheeler,
teams.
name dropper, Gallagher and Sheen, Weber and Fields.
Yeah.
Actually, when you yawn, I don't know whether you know this or not,
Yes.
it does not mean that people are bored. It means that the body needs oxygen.
Needs oxygen.
Did you know that until I said it?
Yes, I've known it all my life. I seem to have known it by a priori knowledge.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Good.
Did you know I'm up for an Emmy?
Yes, you are.
It's so gauche of me to bring it up, but I thought you never would.
I was going to. I was planning to bring it up.
Yes.
You know that you will be there, of course.
No, I wouldn't go.
What do you mean you wouldn't go?
Well, I think awards are so foolish, but...
You happen to know that I'm emceeing the Emmy show this year?
Yes.
Well, I've done it for the last 2 years, and they asked me to do it again this year, and that will be on Sunday night, May the 20th, I believe, a week from this coming Sunday.
Yes, I would go out for it. I think awards are ridiculous because I've never won one. If I win, I'll change my opinion. I'm ready to switch to the belief that they're a charming necessity of life.
So you will.
However, yeah.
Little Lindburn? No,
Yes.
thank you. But aren't you coming to the show? I would like to know that you're there because it's the Schubert Theater, and I
Yes.
like to know the people are out there that I like.
Yes, I would like to come, but I wouldn't come just because you're, just because I'm a nominee. Because I'm hoping I don't win.
Oh, come on.
I'm serious.
Oh, now don't be. Now don't do that.
No, I have a reason.
That
a
reverse
selfish.
humility.
No, it's not humility at all.
Of course you hope you win.
No,
You
no.
want to win that award so badly you can taste it.
Wrong. I hope Jack wins. See, every year we've both been up.
Right.
And we sort of, I rather imagine we cancel each other out. We get the odd couple vote. Except 2 years ago, he won. And I would really like it if he'd win again. Because I think it would look very good for our show that he won twice. And
Don't you think it would look good if you won it?
not as good, and here's the reason. Every week when we do our show live like this before an audience, and every week in the warm-up, I do about 10 minutes on him winning. That's my whole warm-up. And it's the best thing I do.
And if
If I win, the whole warm-up is blown. I have to develop another 10 minutes of material to start the show.
Well, either one of you deserve it.
That's true.
Do we have to sell something? We shall do that, but we shall return right here after this message from J. Mar Slack. You're right, it's not out yet. Just the album cover. You must do a little something tonight. It doesn't have to be from the album, but you always do some little silliness.
I hadn't planned anything, but since everyone seems to be demanding it, I guess that's the least I can do.
Yes, of course.
You're deep, just like a chasm. You've no enthusiasm. You're tired and uninspired. You're blasé. Your day is one of leisure in which you search for pleasure. You're bored when you're adored. You're blasé. While reaching for the moon and the stars up in the sky, the simple things of normal life are slowly passing by. You sleep, the sun is shining. You wake, it's time for dining. There's nothing new for you to do. You're blasé.
From the Red and... From the Red and Blue Network, the Leatherette Room of the Hotel Rosemont in downtown Ohio, Dayton, Ohio. It's a musical sound.
Just 20 minutes from the Pearl of the Orient, Memphis, Tennessee.
Band remotes. You want to do this first, or do we bring you out? We'll do this first, and then I've got to find my thing.
You know what I want in life? I want comfort that's no mirage. I seem to need it and want it.
Let the Lennox experts tell you how.